Thank you.
Hello. It's hard to talk after academics, especially I'm really bit personal, and I see the planet evolving around me, so I will talk about my personal experience. I'm a priest's daughter, and you can imagine like half of the literature making fun of my personal life. I'm a priest's daughter in reality in Syria, and I spent like my 25th years old without knowing a single Sunni person. I live in a city with 4 million Sunni, and I know zero. And everyone, when you sit with Syrians, everyone tends to brag about, we used to live together, we used to love each other, we have this better version of ourselves that we are really proud about, and we keep circulated in the public talk. But then we have the other talk that we do with our smaller communities about others. So we will criticize how Kurds looks, how Sunni talks, and there's this definition. But imagine telling Syrians that you are sectarian, he will hilariously get angry now. At like the first year of the revolution, if someone introduced me as Christian, I would, no, I'm a Syrian. And there is always this clash between your identity and other part of the identity. So if you are a Syrian, you have no other aspect of this identity. And this was part of the problem, that we have double speeches, like Sunni in Aleppo talk about how amazing the Ottoman Empire was, while Christian in Aleppo talk how they were suppressed during the Ottoman Empire. So we have different, and then on the media we have a priest with sheikh hugging each other in front of the cameras. Everyone is really funny, everyone loved each other. So later on the revolution started, and luckily enough I joined that movement. In the first investigation, the security investigator looked at me and like, what do you want? Are you in love with a Sunni? And I didn't get the question, like, why he is investigating my love life. And back then I wasn't in love with a Sunni. I'm not gonna comment what is the situation right now. I will keep it like to myself, but like I didn't get it. But to him, this is obvious. I'm a Christian, I'm a woman, and I'm doing something political. So most probably there is a man in the issue, and most probably he is Sunni. And that solves it all. Like, why I'm joining the revolution, democracy really didn't like really works with him. Later on, he looked at me and said, you dress like this, what do you want otherwise? And this reflects how the regime markets themselves. To them, like, what is women's right? Having 5, 6 women on the media without hijab, let them put them in the media. But in reality, if I want to have a campaign regarding domestic violence in some village in Aleppo, I will go to jail for that. So it is how you do the coverage, and he is good at it. Let us admit it. With the help, of course, of Western media, especially when Asma was part of the picture, they created this propaganda that they are so good and like they respect personal freedom, while others are the Sunni barbarian who doesn't respect anything. So going through the revolution, we created this organization called Kishmalik, and we were the middle upper class activists who thought together that we shouldn't fall the gap that happened in Egypt where Muslim Brotherhood won. And when you are from Aleppo, there is a lot of history about Muslim Brotherhood alive with you. So, and you thought back then this is the worst Islamist you're gonna see. You live furthermore to know they are like, oh my God, they are the peaceful version of it. So we sat together and discussed to raise political awareness. We were 7 friends, naive enough to consider that we're gonna spread political awareness, secular political awareness. Right now, we have 7 schools, 4 community centers, and we are like one of the few still declared that they are secular. But what is secular in details in this revolution means? How not to become anti-Sunni. It is the daily challenge. Because it's easy to fall in the gap of Islamophobes in the world today. Muslims themselves, they sit and defend themselves over and over and over. So how are we gonna do it? Us already starting with modern values, we want quotas and neutral state. What kind of relationship we want with religious itself? And this started by me coming from Christian school where we used to pray like twice a day, and we color the Bible, and my sister kids still color the Bible, and that's okay. That doesn't annoy anyone. But when I am general manager of an organization that runs schools, and someone wrote Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim over the board, we get panicked. Everyone in the office, have you seen the picture of our school where they wrote Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim on the board? We should contact the manager, and they contacted the manager, and we knew they wrote another slogan, or it's the only slogan they wrote. So yeah, there is sensitivity regarding Islam itself, and if we don't address it, and if we don't question ourselves again and again and over how we're gonna deal with it, we will end up in clash with 70% of our population. So the problem in Syria is that they are too many. So we can't logically have problem with them. They are too many to have problem with them. In the real life, the question of secular is how far the society would jump to follow us. Because when I sit with secular feminist movement, we need 50% quota in the constitution. Whenever we sit, we discuss 50% quota in the constitution. Some may like say, but maybe Sweden doesn't have 50%. We don't care, we need 50% quota in the constitution. We go back to figures in reality. We have 2% women in the local councils. So how the society gonna jump between the dreams of the secular activists and between reality? They can, that may happen by force. We can by now force the society to live up to that ambitious. But years afterward, the society gonna collapse. They will say, no, this constitution doesn't reflect the people, this laws doesn't reflect the people, and the people will find ways around it. So how much we can push the society into our ambitious dream, this is the question that secular movements in Syria should keep questioning themselves. The problem is how to deal with this identity right now when you are totally in the middle. You're all the time saying, yeah, I'm secular, but I'm not Bashar al-Assad. And all the time saying, I'm with the revolution, but I'm not the Islamist. So all the time you are having this mixed feeling of identifying yourself in the process, in the whole process. ISIS made everything easy. To us, like, doesn't look like this. But in reality, in the reality of the politics in Syria, right now the Islamists have to defend themselves also. They have to have a political agenda that's really different from what ISIS is putting on the table. Well, otherwise, they are also accused of becoming like, really? You are talking about Islamic State? You are talking about Islamic State like what? Like ISIS? So he had to jump in and some naively say, maybe like Turkey. Then you say like, really? Turkey, secular? Like, anyway, if our Islamists wish Turkey, I will go for Turkey like anytime soon. Yeah. It like would be our best case scenario. So defining right now through the conflict what secular means is the opportunity, because we are not talking about the levels of ethics and values. We are talking about details of education, women's rights, women's center, how to take that kind of decisions. In one of our community centers, the woman wrote us a letter asking that we have mixed book clubs where men and women come together to discuss books in the countryside of Aleppo. That never happened before, and we were so proud that we did it. Later on, some women wrote us a statement saying, our men are not allowing us to attend. We want to come to the book club, but our men are not like allowing us to because it's mixed. So we had to take a decision whether to involve them in the process and split the book club, and then lose the only mixed space that is left. So most of the choices that we're gonna face in Syria, it looks like this. It doesn't look white and black in a way that is totally, there's sometimes, yeah, we kept the book club mixed, but we lost the women that were interested in attending book clubs, but they couldn't. So a lot in the process that's secular, when they're gonna come to reality in Syria, they will face such challenges ahead of them. So this is right now what I wanted you like to look at. The education, for example. At the first year, sorry, how?
You have like 4 minutes.
Okay, at the important stuff. And the mosque next to us was shouting. And any kid under 15 should be brought to the mosque to be taught Arabic, because the education system has collapsed. And we were in the next room discussing like federalism or decentralization or elite, high quality stuff. And like we kept hearing him shouting over kids. And this also summarized the problem between secular and Islamist in Syria. We want to discuss the values while they open bakeries, while they go to dig in the mud to work directly with the people. And in Turkey, you keep hearing that from the people, why they are voting for Erdogan. You keep it because he answers the basic needs, while we answer the basic values. And as long as we are accepting these divisions in rules, we want one. Not in Syria, not anywhere in the region. Because people, at the end, they don't have proper education system, they don't have proper health. So we started with half of the schools changed the curriculum. The state collapsed, you can teach whatever you want. If you want to teach that Syria don't exist, you can open a school and teach kids that Syria don't exist, and someone gonna fund that and consider it funny. So we had the Libyan curriculum, the Saudi Arabia curriculum, Islamist curriculum, which is 3 days of Islam, 3 days of Arabic and math. And we had the Syrian curriculum. This was the first year and it was a nightmare. Later on, last year, we have only one school teaching the Islamic curriculum. How that happened, this is one of the battles that we were underlying the conflict, we were opening, we were tracking like why those are teaching that. Because of money? Because like we started to raise the certificate problem. How are you gonna give certificate for this curriculum that you are teaching? So more and more we are moving beyond that. But the problem is no one seeing underneath the layers that is obvious in the media. Yeah, but for a Syrian, how many flags? We count how many flags. There is back to the green flag in our protest. This is to us mean that there is going back to Syria. Because when I was in Aleppo, I used to be stopped because of it. It is like something that Al-Nusra Front gonna stop me and ask me, are you secular? And I'm like, what? Have you seen my passport? I am Marcel, my father is George, my mother is Marinette. Like I have all the Christian saints on the first page of my passport. So by definition, do you think I could be Islamist, for example? So this underlying battles that we are happening today, I think it's taught me as on the personal level about secular, about challenges, about what kind of constitution is achievable in Syria, more than living 20 of my life thinking that I'm secular, that's it. Okay, that's so clear, that's so obvious. So that's it, thank you.
Thank you.